at the front of the Ford Transit, the Demers TSE Type 2 ambulance. We're going to discuss some of the features up here. In the roof cap, you have 9 Wayland LED emergency lights. They are 400 and 500 series. As you can see, they're built in at certain angles to protect the intersections. When you're entering that intersection, you're going to get some offset light to alert the drivers instead of just that traditional Type 2 forward lighting. When we get to the side entry door of the Transit, the emergency lights will continue to function even when the door is open, providing you safety and protection for the crew that's working on the scene. We don't want those lights shutting off while you guys are doing your work on the scene. Scene lights and emergency light will both continue to function. So now we have, in addition to where the safety net's located, it is adjustable, and at the head of the squad bench you have a kick out trash, which will show you from the back of the vehicle, but you also have this padded reinforced area with the same aviation style safety clips, and these safety clips allow you to put your cardiac monitor on the squad bench and lock it in with a special set of straps that go over the top of the monitor and secure it. Entry, we have the yellow grab bar handle, which is built into that extrusion. We're going to show you some photos of the back side of that. You can see the side of the Als cabinet. Down below we have the stair chair holder that you've become accustomed to in the Demers Type 2 line. Very easy to access your stair chair. All of the different chair models that are available with tracks, without, motorized, are all designed to fit in this location. It's cleverly recessed up in underneath the passenger seat, gives you full width access. Simply undo the buckle, the chair comes in and out. Here we have the Als cabinet. The Als cabinet is all aluminum formed. It has an extrusion interior frame with adjustable shelves. You'll see that the shelves can be moved to any position very easily with some screws to different numbers of bags or sizes of equipment, and you can even take shelves in and out or add if you'd like to. Easy access retention straps to keep all your equipment in place. Easily reachable from the seat, drop down out of the way, any equipment that you might have here. It includes a 12-volt power outlet and a 110 outlet for powering any equipment that you keep in here. Action area control console includes all of the standard items you'd expect: dome lighting, exhaust fan, suction, attendant light. The Demers Auxilary control console, which gives you easy access to temperature and fan settings, a checkout timer, O2 pressure if the vehicle is equipped with that, and patient intercode. You have a volume rheostat for the stereo speakers, which are already built into the doors of the Transit, not in the headliner. They came with the vehicle, so we just incorporated a rheostat to cut those rear speakers off, and a 12-volt 20-amp power outlet for phones and other equipment. There's an inverter control panel if the vehicle is equipped with the inverter. It's also a smart inverter that includes a battery charger. This is a new unique feature on the TSE. It's a removable electrical access panel. There is a quick access for breaker reset if you plug in the 110 Shoreline. But besides that, you have easy access to the inverter battery charger, the suction pump, some of the electrical equipment, and we've also installed a radio communication area here at the bottom. In that radio communication area, you have a flat surface to mount radio heads, and you have a pre-wired fuse block with ignition hot and battery hot to give you power for any types of radios or auxiliary equipment you're going to want to get into and wire. Easy to remove, easy to replace. It also has a separate lock so the maintenance personnel can seal that compartment off and keep the crews from accessing that when they shouldn't. Here we have the rear of the vehicle with the emergency lighting molded into the exclusive Demers part of the aero cap. When we discussed our DNA in the front, we have that aerodynamic cap. We continued the aerodynamic to the rear to prevent from having to mount any of the lighting on the door itself and having to put duplicate lights inside. We have this mold made that actually fits the body of the Transit and incorporates your emergency lighting. Now we're at the back of the vehicle, and we're going to talk about our clever cabinetry and our aluminum extruded cabinet wall and why we do that across all platforms, Type 1, Type 2, Type 3. In a very brief non-engineering style explanation, this wall is a extruded frame of aluminum. You'll see at the top, travels all the way to the front of the vehicle, down and around. The cabinet wall is actually built outside of the vehicle. We mount the cabinet inserts on the back of the wall. The wall is brought in one piece. It's set and it's bolted at the top and the bottom. The reason we do this is our horizontal pull test. Every Demers ambulance is made with a cabinet wall that is pull tested to 9,000 to 11,000 pounds. When we move into the middle section of the cabinet wall, we have several options available here. This is a lock box with a solid panel, used for maybe a medication lock box or a personal belongings vault or something you may want to keep locked up. It's built out of the same extrusion as the rest of the wall structure. You can see how strong that door is. Another option available here if you don't need a lock box is a glove box. So you can do built-in gloves, easy access from the squad bench. As we move down the wall, the next feature is the cardiac monitor location. There's two options available here. You can either have another cabinet if you need the cabinet space, or on a BLS unit you might need that. If you want your cardiac monitor secured in the vehicle for transport, you can get the optional cardiac monitor tray built in. You always get the 110 and the 12 volt there. The difference here is you have a slide out tray. Easy to remove. It slides all the way out for access to the patient, over the patient. So if the attendant is sitting here in the seat, he can easily reach the cardiac monitor. If the patient is laying down, of course, easy to hit your event markers, maybe in the case of a full arrest or another critical patient, or medication markers. At time of order, all of the Transit TSE models are available with the cot configuration that suits your needs. In K-revision states that require different cot mounts, we've got you covered there. So you can do the traditional antler and rail style mount that some folks still use. You can move up to the performance load by Stryker. You can do the power load by Stryker. You can do the Furno Stat Track with or without charging. No matter what cot option you pick, our Transit TSE is designed to hold all of those different mounts. With this aluminum extruded wall built out of these separate extrusion parts, we've already talked about the pull testing and safety. Also offered us a unique opportunity to be able to store your backboards under the wall. Accessible from the back of the vehicle, out of the way, and still plenty of room to store your equipment for easy access on the scene of an accident or any other time you might need a board. Now talking about the ceiling of the Transit TSE Type 2 ambulance, we have the two IV hooks incorporated into the far street side wall, two drop down IV bag holders that'll each hold two bags with straps, and they have a design that's exclusive to Demers. We have those manufactured so when they come down it's easy to attach your IV bag. When they go up, they actually do stay in the roof, in the ceiling, out of your way. You have 7 standard LED dome lights. This entire vehicle is LED interior and exterior. The middle has the upgraded yellow grab bar. The standard grab bar is stainless, but you can also choose the yellow package, which includes an overhead yellow, and the 2 side entries is yellow. Just gives you a easily visible safety grab point when you're looking for that. In talking about the heat and AC system, we've come up with a unique ducting system where we bring the heat and AC out from the top of the ALS cabinet. We've incorporated a ductwork system up into the ceiling. It comes all the way to the back, and you have 5 vents over the squad bench. Really nice because your air for AC is going to fall right down on top of the attendant. Keep them nice and cool while they're working in the back. And when the heat comes on, it's going to easily be directed at the patient or the attendant wherever you need it. Looking at the curbside rear of the vehicle, you have a oxygen cabinet that is molded into the cabinetry to match the rest of the vehicle. Easy access to open and close. Large window to access from the squad bench. You have an adjustable rack for M or H or whatever style oxygen tank you're using. Oxygen wrench is tethered for ease. Easy to access, open and close. Another unique feature we have is the portable oxygen storage cylinders. This compartment opens from the rear. It's also accessible from the top of the squad bench, and will hold D or E cylinders. Easy to access at the back of the stretcher as a spare bottle or as your main O2, whichever you choose. So here we have our aluminum squad bench. It's bolted into the structure of the vehicle. The seat belts are bolted into a heavily reinforced steel cage that's welded into the wall of the Transit to provide maximum occupant restraint testing. All of those seatbelt anchor points are pull tested like the rest of our vehicle. You can see it has 6-point attachments for the seatbelts. The squad bench lifts up. Inside here we have storage for the 2 tanks, D or E, adjustable depending on what size tank you want. Now we're in the cab of the Demers TSE Transit Type 2 ambulance. We got a close-up look here of our ambulance control console. This is our master switch. Needs to stay on all the time. Switch on, you have an ambulance. Switch off, you have a Ford Transit chassis. So unless the truck's out of service, I recommend leaving that on. It's not just an emergency master. The second switch is anti-theft. When you get on the scene, put the vehicle in park, pull your emergency brake, tap this once, and then take the key out with you. If anybody gets in and steps on the brake, you see that light went off right away. That means the vehicle would be disabled and the engine would shut down. We don't have it running right now because we're indoors. Third switch, very simple, just a backup alarm cancel or a mute button for that backup alarm. Every time you put it in park and back into reverse, that backup alarm will reactivate. You've got your Ford sync line in and auxiliary jack underneath this sealed button, as we discussed just a little bit ago. As we go across the switches down below, simple primary lighting, headlight flasher, rear ambers, load and scene. This touchpad is what we call an auxiliary control console. This is a huge benefit for you as a provider. It gives you full access to your rear controls from the front without getting out. So that gives you a closer look at the Demers emergency control console and auxiliary control pad.